The Supreme Court has ordered a status quo as far as this demolition drive in Jahangirpuri is concerned. It has asked the municipal bodies to stop the demolition drive.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मना किया डिमोलिशन नहीं चलेगा, ये सब चीजें बंद कर दीजिए आप लोग।
ये ना हमारे जो ऑफिसर्स हैं वो डिसीजन लेंगे, वो
नहीं, पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मना किया, आपको बताया नहीं क्या?
On Wednesday, NDMC started an anti-encroachment drive in Jahangirpuri. It came days after communal violence between two communities in that area. While MCD called it a regular drive, questions were raised on the timing of the anti-encroachment drive. So can bulldozer turn up overnight outside your homes? If they do, what are your options? To understand all of this, to tell you what your rights are, we have with us Samanwaya Rautray. What exactly is an illegal encroachment?
The encroachment itself has been defined in the law. It's in section 441 of the IPC. This is basically when you are in somebody else's property, you're threatening to stay on that place, or you're trying to commit an offense or stay on illegitimately. So basic presumption of an encroachment is either you are in government land or you're in somebody else's land, or your building and layout plans have never been approved with the civic authorities. So you basically built unregulated structures, which are an eyesore.
So who decides that it is an unlawful encroachment? Is it the civic agency, the police? Who decides it?
The civic authorities actually, in this case, particular case, Jahangirpuri, there's an NDMC Act under which there's a section, whole section devoted to how the authorities have to proceed. Section 343 clearly says that you have to give not less than 5 days and not more than 15 days to a person to respond. So you have to hear him. In what circumstances did he encroach upon that land? How long has he been staying? Does he have a legitimate reason to be there? All these things have to be heard first. And then first the commissioner, and then an appellate tribunal which sits in 30,000 court will examine it, and finally the lieutenant governor. Now, what is interesting about this process is no court can interfere while this determination is being made. But once the determination is made, then the person can appeal to the courts.
In case of an illegal encroachment, what is the process from the actual notice to the demolition?
So first, the civic authorities have to formally give you a notice. So even if you run away from your house and keep it locked, also they can put up a notice outside asking you to respond, and you have to put your case forward. The right to hearing is a very important right for a person. So the person has to be heard by the civic authorities. Then you go through 3 tiers, at least in the NDMC Act, where you can appeal to 3 different forums. So first you go to the commissioner. If he doesn't listen to you and he rejects your claims, then you go to the appellate tribunal, which sits at the 30,000 court. Then final authority is lieutenant governor. Now he is well within his rights to order demolition. All these laws provide for demolition, but the process is sacrosanct. And another thing is you still above that, you have the courts to go to. So none of this is usually followed. But the civic authorities also have the right to compound these offenses. In the sense, it's not an offense per se, but nowhere does the law say that in every case you will demolish it. You can settle for fines, you can regularize it, and you can also demolish provided it's unsafe or it creates a public nuisance. Now, this public nuisance has been interpreted by courts in a way that has turned out to be anti-poor. For example, a poor person will construct a ramshackle hut. A rich person will construct a magnificent farm. So that helps the courts somehow have over the years held that slums are an eyesore, encroachments are an eyesore, they're a public nuisance. And as a result, it has become very easy for executive authorities to go after them.
You'll see in the political discourse as well that they have been called rioters and illegal immigrants. Is there a law against demolishing such structures owned by, say, a rioter or any illegal immigrant?
About rioting and other offenses and whether they're illegal migrants, these are issues often raised against poor people. But there is a process to determine also whether a person is a writer and whether he is an illegal migrant. And even then, the consequences are not that his house is going to be demolished. If a person is writing, he would be punished for it. There is no provision in any writing law or for taking part of a right, you can demolish my house, you can punish me, you can send me to jail, you can take fines. But if it's even if it's an illegal migrant, the judicial determination has to come about my status, whether I'm actually not an Indian citizen. No, nobody, you can't determine that I am an illegal migrant, nor do civic authorities have the power to do so. It's always the courts. Now, the courts, if they determine also that I am an illegal migrant, I can at best be deported to the country of my origin, provided that country accepts me.
So now that these demolitions have been done, and so the court will decide if it was done legally or illegally. If there was illegal demolition, what are the legal recourse available to the people whose structures have been demolished without following the due course of the law?
Yes, these people actually are there because there's not enough housing. And another thing you must remember, these people just keep floating from one place to another. They stay in one place, the market value of the land goes up, they're thrown out. They go to the next place and again rebuild. Now, inherent in this process is a resettlement, which is mandatory for the authorities. They must resettle these people somewhere else. Now, resettlement is never done. You look at the 25% EWS housing schemes. How many poor people get them? Most of them don't get it. So as a result, the system has failed them at every step. See, whenever the law is wrongly invoked, courts have the discretion to pay compensation. And there are several laws also which say that if you do not follow the procedure established by law, then there is a concept called participatory or contributory negligence. Now, civic authorities are also under a mandate to ensure that there are no such encroachments. Now, these encroachments don't come up overnight, come up over years, decades. And everybody is complicit in the process, be it a political party, the elected bodies, the civic authorities, everybody knows. Whenever an illegal structure comes up, they know, they don't stop it. So at some point of time, courts will also have to look into this aspect, that what was the contributory negligence to this? In a state which is home to 3 crores and there is no affordable housing, where do half the people go? Because half of Delhi is illegal.
As you have said, these structures don't come overnight. In your career as a legal reporter, have you ever seen instances where the court has taken cognizance of the fact of the negligence of the civic authorities and have fined them or taken any actions against them?
No major case as such. There might have been 1 or 2 stray cases where the court has pulled up DDA for illegal constructions in the city, but no punitive action has ever been taken against any big official or a political party which is running the MCD for these. Supertech is the first such instance of its kind. This is one instance where the illegality was so glaring that even the courts could not condone the construction by such a large builder. The builder tried its best, spent all its money and legal power it had. They appealed right up to the Supreme Court, not once, twice, thrice.
So it comes down to the money and how much wherewithal you have to fight your case in the court. Something that you won't expect from someone who has a small cart.
Yes, even in this case, nothing has happened to Noida authorities who cleared those files. And multiple departments must have dealt with them. Power, fire, so many departments, water. So all have cleared these files. So why is there no probe ever into the role of civic authorities in clearing such blatant illegal construction?
So I hope our viewers like this video, and if you have more suggestions, we'll try to keep doing about your laws and rights and what you should know about them. Thanks a lot, Samanwaya, for giving your time.